Hey there, and welcome back to the Inside Out Shift, the podcast where we go beyond surface level business talk and dive into the real stories behind bold moves and meaningful growth. I'm your host, Evgenia Baikova, a business mindset strategist, Gallup certified strengths coach, and creator of the Scale Success System. I help women who've left corporate build service-based businesses that actually feel good, works on their terms, and get paid. And this podcast is where we explore the inside-out shift it takes to lead, grow, and show up with clarity and confidence. And today's guest is Sarah Curcio, the CEO and social media strategist behind Sarah's Social Strategy LLC. And since 2017, can you imagine that? Sarah has been helping ambitious and high achieving service based entrepreneurs stand out through organic social media marketing. And with background in digital marketing and human resource management, she brings both creativity and structure to her work. And she's not just a strategist. No, 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 no. She's also a mentor, educator, and two-time published author. Can you imagine that? That one of those being a number one bestseller. So we get into all of that business pivots, brand clarity, leadership, and staying grounded while doing a lot. Whether you are building your business, looking for more engagement online, or navigating a transition of your own, this conversation will give you both practical insights and real encouragement. Let's dive in. Sarah, welcome.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, tell us what Sarah's social strategy is all about and what led you to create it back in 2017.
Sure. So I actually started my business because before I did that, I was a virtual assistant. And even before that, I was a medical office manager. So I had experience with organization and different things like that. But I wasn't enjoying the jack of all trades and wanted to niche down.
I got it. I got it. So you started your journey in healthcare and then you moved into VA and marketing sphere. So what inspired that pivot and what part of your story do you think shaped the business you run today?
Well, I definitely always loved writing. So I saw that with marketing, there was a lot of writing, and that's what had the initial spark. Plus, I liked becoming more visible myself and wanted to help other entrepreneurs do the same. So that definitely is what ignited everything.
Yes. And I know that you're not just a business owner, right? So you're also mentor and you teach and you help growing nonprofit organization, um, nonprofit organizations. So what makes this blend of service and strategy so meaningful to you?
Well, I feel when you're an entrepreneur, you need those leadership skills in order to grow your business to the next level, have a team, be able to lead them, show them what they can do, put them in the best position. And that's how I feel working with the nonprofit in a leadership position helps me to figure that out.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, and I also believe that we as entrepreneurs we cannot stop helping others, right? So we are helping everyone who is around us if we see the opportunity, right?
Yes, most
Yeah.
definitely.
And Sarah, let's talk mindset. What was the biggest shift you had to make in moving from traditional employment to entrepreneurship? And what helped you stay committed when things got hard?
Well, I'll answer the second question first. One of the things that helped me stay committed was participating in coaching programs. So I learned what it was like to have a coach, a mentor, and that's a big part of the reason why I was able to do it now because of that. And it was definitely hard in the beginning. You're always scared if it's going to work. You have to push through the mindset issues, the what is it called? I forget the imposter syndrome. There we go.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. And talking about imposter syndrome, what were the signs that you experienced?
Well, you always question yourself. You
Ah, yeah.
have that little voice in the back of your
Mhm.
head asking those questions and trying to block them down and different things of that nature.
Yeah, I got it. And my next question will be somehow linked to that. So I know that you are working with clients early in their business journey, right? So that they have all the things like imposter syndrome and all other syndromes together. So, what do you wish more people understood about branding before they jump into marketing tactics?
I would say they definitely need a clear branding foundation because that's where a lot of the issues come in
Hmm.
when it comes to their mindset and also their marketing message. If their different aspects of their branding is off, their ideal client avatar is off, branding colors, etc., it's just not going to align properly for them.
And what is the most crucial part in that branding foundation?
Your ideal client avatar,
Hmm.
who do you want to work with? How are you going to help them? What are their pain points, their pleasure points? All of those are very vital to
Hmm.
figuring out how you're going to be visible and explain your marketing message and your mission to
Hmm.
everybody.
Yeah. And you know that I can totally relate to that because it wasn't easy for me to narrow down and to finally like picturing that ideal client of mine because I was switching from one niche to another one. And when I got my coaching certification, we were told, well, you can help like the entire world. Go and do that, but you cannot market that, right? So this is a brilliant suggestion. This is a brilliant advice. Just know your niche, know whom you serve, what are the problems you are helping them to fix or to overcome, right? So that probably you can help as many people as is around you as you can touch, right? But well, you cannot market that. And I think that this is the most dangerous trap that those who are new in entrepreneurship, they are like falling into the trap.
I agree with that statement definitely because I have worked with people just starting. The individuals I'm working with now have their business, I would say, 2 to 4 years, so
Mhm.
they are more aware of it. But ideal client avatars do grow and develop,
Yeah.
but it's always very important for any startup to have that set before they go out and market it. Because if they start marketing something and getting the clients that they feel aren't aligned, that they're not enjoying working with,
Mhm.
then there's something wrong with the foundation and they have to go back to their blueprints and look over their mission statement, their offer, their even their job title. What do
Yep.
they call themselves?
Mhm,
The whole nine
mhm.
yards.
Yes, yeah, and that can change everything, right? Um, Sarah, you've built your business and nonprofit work side by side. So, how do you keep your focus clear and avoid spreading yourself too thin?
Organization is most definitely key for that because if I didn't sit down and plan out my week, I have not only digital planners and calendars, but I have the paper version where I write everything out.
Mhm.
I have my calendar where it'll tell me what meetings and different events I have, but then in my planner, I go specifically, okay, so for this meeting, I have to do A, B, and C. And I just try to be as strategic as possible with my time
Mhm.
and try to see what I can take off my plate and what I can delegate.
Mhm, mhm. And I'm just wondering, how did you figure out what is working for you? I mean, in terms of organizing your days and weeks.
Well, it didn't happen overnight, so I will say that because I don't
Mhm.
want anyone to think that it does. It does take a little while to figure out what is giving you an ROI that you're
Mhm.
investing your time in, and it does take adjustments. And you do have to learn to be a little bit flexible in
Mhm.
the beginning while you're figuring this out, because you do not want to hit burnout and it's gonna
Oh, yes.
impede your progress,
Mhm.
and you need to learn progress over perfection.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
another key component.
Hmm. And I like that you're bringing that because, in my last conversation, in my last interview, and that will be published before our conversation will be published, we were talking about how to let it go, like how
Oh,
to let
okay.
go of perfection. Because people, well, women, we have the tendency to fall in another trap. Like if we invested heavily in something, like in terms of money, time, or something else, we have the tendency to keep going with that, even seeing that, well, it's harming our business. It's not good to still keep going with that luggage. It's like, carrying the suitcase without the handle. It's something which is heavy and not comfortable, right?
I agree, and it's something that I'm even trying to teach my current mentee.
Mhm. I'm glad you're doing that. And now let's switch gears a bit and talk about AI. I know that you are not a heavy user, but when you do tap into it, how does it support your creativity or efficiency in your work?
I would say definitely efficiency, because I will use it for cutting research time
Mhm,
down.
mhm,
So if I need different ideas or an outline of something, I will most definitely do it. Just as one example, recently for a couple of networking events that I'm hosting this year, I utilized it to create icebreaker questions to go along with the theme that we have for the event.
mhm,
Other things I have come up with are maybe what potential assignments could I or should I
mhm,
delegate?
mhm.
Just it does save time in that
Yeah.
regard. People need to look at it as a tool that can help them, and not something to say directly copy and paste.
Yeah. And that's brilliant. And I like that. AI is helping us to be more productive, more efficient. And, a week ago, probably 2 weeks ago, I participated in one workshop for coaches in how to use AI. And someone asked in chat, well, guys, how are you using free time? And someone answered, do you have a free time even if you work with AI? Well, you will definitely invest that time that was freed by AI to work on something else.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. And I know, Sarah, that you've contributed to two women's book collaborations, right?
Yes.
Including a bestseller. So, what did writing those chapters teach you about your own growth? And do you see writing playing a bigger role in your future?
Well, I will say just from those two book collaborations, it was about, writing about our journey, giving
Mhm,
business tips, and sharing where we want to go. And the two book collaborations I participated in were 5 years apart. And because they were 5 years apart, I actually went back and read my old book chapter and read my current one just to see how much that I have grown since then,
mhm.
personally and professionally. So that was some of an inspiration for myself. And I do see writing in the future, because while I like being part of a book collaboration, I would one day like to have written my own book entirely on my own as the only author.
Yeah. So, would you recommend to participate in those book collaborations?
Yes, most definitely, especially if you want to get your feet wet, so to speak,
Mhm,
and you're a little nervous to write an entire book. It's definitely easier to collaborate with others, because then you have that extra support that you
mhm.
need, rather than doing it completely on your own.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Well, and finally, if someone listening is just starting out and well, feeling overwhelmed and have all that imposter syndrome and other things, what's the one piece of advice you'd share with them today? And yeah, let's start with that.
Well, I would have to say that I would probably say take the leap,
Mhm,
because even though it might be hard, it might be difficult, taking a leap of faith in yourself is definitely worth it. Even if it's not going to turn out exactly as you have it pictured in your head, it's most definitely worth a try, because that's going to teach you progress over perfection. And then each time you go to do it moving forward, it's going to get easier.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. And that was such a rich conversation. Thank you again, Sarah, for sharing your story, for sharing your strategies and your heart today with us. And if you're listening and feel inspired, go ahead, like, follow, and share this episode with a friend who is building their businesses from the inside out. You will find all Sarah's links in the description. Go check. And especially if you're looking for a smart and human centered approach to your social media. And if you want to be featured in this podcast or need help building a business that actually feels good and gets paid, my links are down there too. Let's connect. Until next time, keep growing from the inside out.